Welcome friend, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm Agatha and today is Friday, January 9th. For me, 2026 so far has not been bad necessarily, but it's a little complicated. So basically, I am a recovering chronically online addict. For the past few weeks, I've been spending way more time on Reddit than I really would like to, and it's been really affecting me like emotionally. So I am saying all that because, like I said, today's Friday. My husband just left to spend some time with his friends. He won't be back for the entire weekend. And this morning, I finally was able to just sit down and follow a meditation guide. But one of the things that she said was to try to come up with a mantra for the day. Kitty, get comfy. Thank you. Yeah, she just was talking about like pick a mantra for today. Maybe sounds silly, but the mantra is peace gives me peace. Going online and having this endless stream of information does not give me peace. It is the opposite of peace. So I've been really good about not allowing myself to get on Reddit all day, and I am trying really hard to continue that. And I think since my husband is going to be away all weekend, why don't we have you and I a really peaceful, relaxing, almost like a meditative 20 minutes for you, a whole weekend for me. I haven't recorded in like a week and a half, so a lot has been happening. Great news! My sister-in-law has announced her pregnancy. She's pregnant. There is a part of me that very strongly feels that because I have never made a baby blanket, I feel like the first baby blanket should be for my own baby, even though I'm not even pregnant. That is what I have been working on for the past few days, I believe. But anyway, this pattern is called Heart to Heart blanket, I believe. It's slightly modified, but not by much. But this is what it's looking like so far. I'm making this with a yarn that was in my stash. This is Karen 1 pound in the colorway Azure. Karen 1 pound is definitely not the yarn that I was initially considering using for baby blanket number one of my whole life. However, something that I have noticed with more recent acrylic yarns like Big Twist Value is that yes, it is very soft. It does not withstand the dryer at all. If you have ever considered putting Big Twist Value in the dryer, don't do it. I am definitely looking forward to just making myself a nice cozy drink, catching up on YouTube, and not doom scrolling. And I hope that you are all cozy and settled for this video. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys in a little while. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's 9 a.m. I was reading a news article about how apparently kids right now are really nostalgic for 2016, which I thought was really funny. And it reminded me that in 2017, I started doing monthly Spotify playlists for, I think it ended up being like 7 or 8 years. But in 2016, I did have like my dip into making playlists, and I have one called Summer of 2016, and I haven't listened to it in a very, very, very long time. And it has been really fun. So it's just a lot of Cash, because I guess I was really into Cash for half a minute. 21 Pilots, because duh. Then I also have Prince Fox, The Interrupters, Shawn Mendes. I think that's around the time that he released the Stitches songs, so there's that. Matoma, which I don't know how to pronounce, but ooh, also Saya and Cheap Thrills. 2016 is when that song was really, really popular. And Marion Hill, I freaking love Marion Hill. J Balvin, yeah, just a really, really fun playlist. Also Dua Lipa. This is what before she really skyrocketed to worldwide celebrity. So yeah, just a really fun playlist. I've just been listening to that. It's really been bringing up my mood. 2016, I was 24. It's a definitely really upbeat playlist. So I feel like it sounds like the playlist made by a 24-year-old. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead, make my tea. I'm also gonna go shower, and then after that, I want to keep working on the blanket. Which, by the way, let me show you all of the progress that we made yesterday. So I had to go back to my video to figure out where was I when I showed this to you, and I was here. So we got a lot accomplished. So we're just gonna continue working on this. I have been feeling at times some pressure on my arms. I'm just not used to knitting that much, so I just hold things really, really tightly, and after a couple of hours of nonstop knitting, everything starts hurting. All right, what are we making today? Let's see. My pantry is a mess. But I have two favorite types of teas. I have English breakfast, and I have this Paris kind. Yeah, it is black tea, but it's also like vanilla and a whole bunch of other stuff. I already forgot. I threw away the. Oh wait, here it is. It says black tea, oolong tea, vanilla flavor, black currant flavor, bergamot. I think that's how you pronounce it. Oil and caramel flavor, and it is so freaking delicious. I think I'm gonna do this today because it's a weekend. All right, guys, it is time for me to update you. It is 3:30. It is still Saturday, obviously. It has been snowing all day today. It's so pretty. I've been getting a lot of progress in the blanket. I truly could not have picked a better day for me to just try to come down to basics and relax. I feel like I've been able to finally disconnect for long enough to like process my emotions and my thoughts, and I feel like I can actually verbalize them now. So I think that's what we're gonna be doing for at least a couple minutes, so I hope you don't mind a little bit of a chattier section in a vlog. I felt like I was spiraling, really. The doom scrolling was just a symptom of me feeling out of control and not knowing how to feel safe. I'm going to put it that way. So I've never actually mentioned it in my YouTube channel before, because I don't know, I feel like some things can be left unsaid. But I feel like I've made it really well known that I'm Latina. I mean, my outro is in Spanish, but I'm Venezuelan. I'm Venezuelan American. And I feel like that says everything. As just to recap, the United States government basically invaded a foreign country to force a change in government. And don't get me wrong, I hate Maduro's guts. I lived in Venezuela since I was 6 years old until I was 22, and I moved out of Venezuela towards the end of 2014, and that is when I moved to Minnesota, and I've been living in Minnesota ever since. Obviously, it's not like I'm upset about Maduro getting what he deserves, but as a Venezuelan, it is really hard for me to feel proud about, as a society, not being able to fix our own fucking problems, alright? I would rather not have like a victim mentality of someone else coming along and fixing our problems. Like, how could I possibly feel happy about that? And then as an American, because like I said, I'm dual citizen, I don't know that it makes sense for us to spend money that we don't have on a foreign entity. The Venezuelan infrastructure for oil has been so severely mismanaged that it's not as easy as the American white savior coming in and being able to extract oil and now everyone is happy. No, it's gonna take so much investment, so much money, so much time to get anything good out of this decision. And then, like I mentioned, I've also been living in Minnesota for a very long time now. Earlier this week, an ICE agent, which is an immigration and customs enforcement officer, shot and killed someone here in Minneapolis. And like, I don't live in Minneapolis. I don't even live in the metro, but it's not like I live that far away from the metro. Anyway, I don't think I need to explain why that was so extremely stressful. I literally know what it is like as a protester to go out to try to make your voice heard, and then having the government send the National Guard or, law enforcement to come and shoot tear gas at you and try to detain you, and just trying to do this big macho kind of vibe to scare the populace into submission. This shit is so fucked up, you guys. Like, I cannot see what is happening and not have like a PTSD reaction to it, because it is so disturbing. I am extremely privileged by the fact that if the things that are happening in the world right now are affecting me so deeply mentally and emotionally, I can just disconnect and act like nothing's happening. It is absolutely a place of privilege, and I am obviously aware of it. But at the same time, I have to remind myself this is nothing new from me. This is a lesson that I've been trying to learn for a long time. Worrying about things does not actually fix anything. What fixes things or what makes things better is to clock in on what it is that is worrying you and taking actions towards resolving them. And there is nothing that I can do to resolve the situation in Venezuela or to resolve the situation in the United States. That is why I am disconnecting and hiding from the world and just sitting on my favorite spot of the couch and knitting a baby blanket for a baby that doesn't even exist yet. And I loved the hot chocolate that I made for myself last night so much that I just had to make another. I don't drink hot chocolate very often, which is why it's very convenient that this teeny tiny cute little mug that my parents got me for Christmas is so teeny tiny. This is 6 ounces, which I don't remember right now how many milliliters it is. I feel like this is a terrible mistake, but 177 milliliters. This is so small. And just getting to witness the beauty that is like the little flurries of snow, watching YouTube, getting to watch people be creative and just sharing it with the world. Like there is a lot of beauty in the world, and that's what I'm trying to focus on right now. My mental and emotional state definitely feels a lot more calmer. And I'm happy that I've been able to channel this energy into something that I can actually see and perceive with my own senses in the real world. The only first world problem that I have right now, I added way too many marshmallows to my hot cocoa, and it's really hard to drink. And my cat is trying to get on my lap, and I don't want her cat hair on this project because it's going to be impossible to remove once it has cat hair. And you know what? Those are good problems to have. That's my stance on it. Thank you for putting up with just letting me offload what's been going on and why I started the video the way that I did. Oh geez, I stopped in the middle of a row. Of course I did. No, kitty. She loves sleeping on these pillows. I try to not let them sleep on the pillows just because, you know, otherwise they're full of cat hair. But for some reason, cat hair doesn't really stick to this canvas material very well, so it's usually alright. So let me just finish this row and I can show you where we're at. Alright, here we are. We only have one more row of hearts, and then I'm gonna do the rows of garter stitch to finish it off, and then I'm gonna be able to bind it off. So yeah, I feel like we're gonna be able to finish this today, which is really, really fun, and I'll be able to throw it in the washer and dry it and block it because the way that the garter stitch edge are curling in is kind of crazy. So anyway, I think that that is enough chatting. Let's go back to some nice relaxing music, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright guys, I would say good morning, but it is not morning anymore. It's 12:30 and it's Sunday. So, as you saw, I got up, I did workout. I need to remind myself to never record myself working out again because I literally look like a sim. So there's that, and then yeah, I don't know. I've just been kind of chilling. I finally showered. So as you saw, I finished the blanket last night. I already watched it this morning, and I have it blocking, so that will take some time before it's ready for me to show it to you. But it should be done by the end of today, I think. I am able to start working on the thing that I was maybe anticipating I could work on if we were to finish the blanket. This teeny tiny ball of yarn I found at a Goodwill. I think it was like it was towards the last few days of 2025, and there was only this one ball. So this is Lion brand. It is the LB collection 100% cashmere, and I paid $2.99 for it. I thought it was a little bit crazy for me to pay $3 for a secondhand ball of yarn, but I think these were retailing for maybe like $7 each. I looked it up and I don't remember anymore, but it was definitely not $3. So what I'm thinking on making with this, the skinniest scarf that there ever has been. I'm also thinking it might be too skinny for me to actually wear as like a Sophie scarf situation, but I think it would be really cute for me to make myself like a little bow when I put my hair up in a ponytail. So yeah, this is what we're gonna work on. This is a 25-gram teeny tiny donut. There's only 82 yards in this. So yeah, it's gonna be very, very skinny. But I feel like it's such a small amount of yarn that we should be able to finish something within the day with it. It's so soft. It is a little gross that it was at the Goodwill and I'm just like, handling it or whatever. I think we're just gonna wash it once it's worked up. So I think we're gonna need at least a 4 millimeter knitting needles for this. So I'm gonna get started on it. Let's see how far we can get along. All right, it is time to wrap up this vlog. Finally, I feel like this is going to be a very long one. Also, I considered for the outro of this video to actually become presentable. Like, I've spent this entire vlog just in my pajamas and no makeup. But then I've been on this vlog in my pajamas and no makeup already. So what difference does it make? So you're the one that's in my living room right now. So I'm gonna remain comfortable. But that's enough talk. Let's talk now about the finished objects from this weekend. I took off the stitch marker that was on the blanket at the very beginning of the weekend. I was worried about it like pulling or whatever while it was in the washer, but we were just like halfway. We made a lot of progress in like a day. I think it was just a day or maybe like a day and a half. I don't remember anymore when I started this vlog. The edges are still curling in, and I suppose that is just the nature of knitting. I'm sure that there is some trick somewhere on how to avoid that, but I am not knowledgeable enough in knitting to like anticipate that this was going to happen. I thought that by me doing a garter border, it was going to fix the curling altogether. It didn't occur to me that it might curl before the garter border. It still looks really cute and it's really nice. It's really drapey. I also didn't get to mention how I bound it off. I found some instructions online for the Latvian bind off. However, the instructions that I followed were very different from if you just Google Latvian bind off. They're all different from these instructions. So I don't know what to tell you. However, I am definitely going to be using it again for garter stitches bind off. It just blends so nicely. It was really easy to make. But yeah, it's really stretchy. It's a little stretchier than the cast on, the long tail cast on, but it doesn't flare out after you stretch it a little. So that's how that came out. And then obviously the skinniest skinny scarf that has ever skinnied was a success. I was able to finish it within a day. I'm not usually a skinny scarf type of person, but I guess I'm gonna have to now because I own one. This is all that was left. I was trying really hard to maximize the yarn as much as possible, but clearly I underestimated, which is fine. That's better than running out. But you know, now I have this and I'm just gonna have to put it with my scraps now because there's no way I'm throwing away 100% cashmere. I also had this on like a headband for a second earlier, and I thought it was also kind of cute, but it is giving, when I looked at myself in the mirror, it was giving like the headbands that you use for when you're in the bathroom and you're doing your skincare routine. But in any case, I've been doing a lot of talking on this vlog, so I have a feeling like it's going to be pretty long. But I appreciate you guys coming along with me and keeping me company throughout. Every time I start like spiraling due to doom scrolling, the only way that I've been able to find where I'm able to just like completely cut it out is to go cold turkey. And I'm glad that I did that this weekend. I really, really needed it. I feel like this was a good way to start 2026, just putting our mental and emotional health first. And obviously, if you need that too, go for it. I could definitely recommend it. Otherwise, if what you need to really help your mental and emotional state is to go out and protest and do activism, then all the more power to you. Go do that. And obviously, crafting is craftivism is a thing. That is just not where I am mentally. I have protested. I have done activism in a weird, complicated way. Maybe that is why I don't feel inclined to do that right now, because I've already done that in the past and was left sorely disappointed by it. But don't let me talk you out of it, okay? Anyway, this is getting derailed. Thank you so much, you guys, again, for coming along with me. I truly appreciate it, and I hope that I will see you in the next video. Hasta la próxima. Ciao.